What's up, sisters? This is your boy, Beef, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be covering some of the best race and sub-race mods available for Baldur's Gate 3 through the in-game mod manager. The game already comes with 11 default races and 31 sub-races, but modders have been hard at work to give us players the ability to try out some different options from throughout the Forgotten Realms. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right on into some of these mods. So, starting off strong, our first race mod by Rosprey allows us to play as an Aasimar, featuring 4 variants. These celestial beings come pre-packaged with very high boosts to charisma, so they make excellent paladins, warlocks, and sorcerers. The 4 variants we have here are the Protector Aasimar. You get these wings that come stylized white. You get a sub-race trait +1 to wisdom. The Fallen Aasimar. You get these kind of demonic wings here. You can see they kind of respond to moving around. Sub-race trait +1 in strength. Scourge Aasimar. I almost called it ASMR. You get another type of with Aasimar with a +1 to Constitution, and the variant Aasimar has a +1 to Wisdom and a +2 to Charisma. This is the one that's kind of broken. You can see if you go into abilities, if I change my +2 to Charisma and I put some points over, you can start the game with a 21 in Charisma, which is a little bit insane. Some might say it feels a little bit OP, but hey, no one ever complained about too much power. You can always up the difficulty anyway, right? So, on the other end of the spectrum, we get access to the Succubus race, which is, in the mod manager, it's called the Fiend Race by Ermac Shadow. With this mod, you can finally play as a full-blown Succubus or Incubus. Yep, just like Mizora or Raphael. Yes, I know that Raphael is actually a Cambion. So whether you decide to use your Infernal Charisma to charm enemies or to set the battlefield ablaze, this race is a great choice for players who want to take a more evil approach. You get the ability to have these sort of horns if you play as the Mizora face. You get her really cool horns that are unique. You can also substitute in your own horns if you go into the appearance editor. You can add in some tiefling horns, which is really nice. Yeah. Next up, we are going to be looking at 2 mods by Lord President that don't necessarily add new racial options to the game, but feel like they might as well be. For this, we're going to go back to the origin page, and we're going to notice there are 4 new options here. The Vampire and the Werewolf origins. You can play as well either a werewolf or a vampire. Both options can be played as a fully custom character. You can see here custom vampire, werewolf custom, or you can satisfy your dark urges by making your werewolf or your vampire into the dark urge character, which is really interesting. I'm really kind of interested to play a vampire there and have some werewolf companions. That'd be really cool if I could do that. I might see if I can figure that out. The Vampire origin gains access to Dark Vision to 24 meters and the ability to shape change into a gaseous bat, or into a gaseous form, or also a bat, and you get access to different additional abilities as you level up. So it's a race that has class progression, which is really nice. The Werewolf origin allows you to transform freely between your humanoid and werewolf form. It increases your jump distance, it increases your strength to 20, and it gives you resistance to physical damage from the slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning, you know. You also gain access to a werewolf bite ability, but be careful because your bite can infect others with lycanthropy. So theoretically, you bite someone and they turn into a werewolf. So that's interesting. We're going to be moving back into the regular race page, and we are going to be taking a look at the Elemental Power Genasi mod by Tepkunset. This one allows you to pick between water, earth, fire, and air. Long ago, the 4 elements lived in harmony, but now you get your pick of element to flavor your Genasi. Fire, air, earth, or water. They each get their own sort of unique sub-race features. They all have dark vision up to 12 meters, but either ones you get different cantrips like Shocking Grasp for the air Genasi, Produce Flame for the fire Genasi. The earth Genasi also gets their movement speed unimpeded by difficult terrain, which is really helpful. In the water Genasi, you get these really cool kind of fin-looking ears, which are really neat. And they have a very unique look with their kind of green skin. It's just a really nice... I can imagine the water Genasi or the air Genasi being really cool to do with an electric lightning build. That'd be really, really sick. I think any of these races would be really cool to do with any elemental build, honestly. For those who don't know, the Genasi are offspring of genies and mortals. Genasi have had ties to two worlds, yet belonging to neither. They're like the half elf between genies and humans, or whatever sort of elf or whatever species else had a baby with a genie. This race comes straight out of the Monsters of Multiverse, including the ability points. So excellent. Next up, we are going to take a look at the Firbolg. This one doesn't have really an option, a little icon here, but that's okay. We only look at the icon right now. This mod is also by Rosprey, and Firbolgs, as the distant relatives of giants, are gentle, nature-loving creatures that have unique sort of druidic abilities. For example, you get access to an invocation, Speak with Animals. You get to detect evil and good, disguise self, and Hidden Step, which is invisibility ability on a bonus action, which is really cool. So if you're a fan of strong support characters that can still pack a punch, the Firbolg is a great option for you. Next on the list is the Owlin. The Owlin is really cool because the Owlin, I mean, who wouldn't want to play as a humanoid owl with actual working wings? I mean, that is just so cool. You get these claws and kind of scaly arms. It's really, really cool. And you get, this mod is made by hornbird.mod. And the Owlin not only looks amazing, but it also gives you the ability to fly, which helps you get the drop on your enemies or fly out of danger where things get messy. You have a choice of two different sub-races. You get the Owlin of the Forest, which has this kind of more brownish, grayish look to its feathers, and the Owlin of the Snow, which is like a Hedwig sort of pure white owl, which is really cool. This is my personal favorite, honestly. So let's move on to the next one. And the next ones that we're going to look at are pretty wacky. We've got two mods that add some really interesting racial choices into the game. The first one that we're going to look at is the Kuo Toa. So, for those who don't know, Kuo Toa are fish people. Look at him go. If you've never explored this area, the area in the game where the Kuo Toa are, they're hilarious. They worship Boal. I don't really know exactly how to pronounce it, but basically like a fish version of Baal, but it's also a red cap. And that's pretty much the gist of this race. It's funky. It's kind of campy. You get access to a pinch and a fishing net, and you get this Kuo Toa Bloodlust ability, and you also get dark vision to 12 meters, which is really cool. You can also, if you're playing something like a cleric, you can make your deity Baal, which is really funny. There's not many, nobody else can worship Baal but you. Next up, our next super weird one is for those of you who are really, really into that one scene in Act 3 with the Emperor. With this mod, you can start the game as a Mind Flayer and finish the game as a Mind Flayer. This one gives you access to all the psionic abilities of a Mind Flayer, including levitating at level 5. You start with proficiency in an armor type of your choice. For some reason here it's picking all 3, but saying 0. You get access to psionic abilities. The one that I'm going to pick here, just for shits and giggles, is Psionic Blast, and we could do Telepathy, or Tentacle Strikes, or Disguise Your Nature. It gives you Disguise Self, Extract Brain, Command Halt. There's some really cool abilities here. Basically, it just gives you the same abilities that you get later in the game when you become a Lithid, but right out of the gate. So, this mod can break immersion a little bit, such as like when you're on the Nautiloid and Lae'zel hops down off of that ledge and says, "Wait, you're not a thrall." when actually it's pretty obvious that you're actually a whole mind flayer. So like, yeah, you're not a thrall, you're a mind flayer. You're even worse than a thrall. So just be prepared for a lot of mental RP, for a lot of like telling yourself, well, okay, I mean, I'm actually she actually knows that I'm not, and like blah blah blah. Or you can also disguise yourself and then nobody will know. You can just pretend to be someone else. You can pull a dream visitor on everybody. Okay, so I think we're done with the wacky ones. Let's take a look at 2 new Elven subraces by Tepkonset. To start, we have the Astral Elves, a race of pink-skinned space elves with a strong connection to the astral plane. They combine the elegance of the standard elves with the astral knowledge feature from Githyanki, making them versatile spellcasters and warriors. So with the astral knowledge, you gain proficiency in all skills of a chosen ability into a long rest, and it's free. You just cast it. If you want to gain proficiency, so you get a boost in charisma things, you can boost your charisma abilities, or if you want to be more combat focused, you can go strength. Really, it's up to you, and it's very versatile. You can change it every day. You also get access to Starlight Step, which is sort of your own resource. You use your own resource, the Starlight Step charges, to do Misty Step, basically. You also get Keen Senses. You have proficiency in the Perception skill, which is really nice because perception checks are all over the place, and they are passive because a lot of them are just ones that you walk past. Additionally, we have access to the Shadar Kai, which are a darker, shadowy sort of twist to elves, with abilities to teleport and manipulate shadows, making them perfect for stealth builds. You get resistance to necrotic damage. You get to this one is Find Familiar, is a raven. And you also get Blessing of the Raven Queen. You can magically teleport to unoccupied space you can see within range. So this is also, you get a little bit of a Misty Step here, which is really cool. Last but certainly not least, we are going to explore the DnD Expanded mod by Buko Moon, 1D10, and Rando Ruda. If you want a bunch of variety in one mod, this is definitely the mod for you. So with this mod, we're talking half giants, we're talking Goliaths, and we're talking goblins, with more on the way. The modders already have plans to add Kender, Tabaxi, and more goblin subraces, but let's dive in and look at some of the races that it offers. We have the half giant, which is really cool. Half giants are widely known for their physical abilities and for their ability to deal heavy damage to foes during combat, but they are typically shunned by many people for their hulking figures and often simplistic views on life and goals. There are 6 sub races for the half giants, including the cloud giant, the storm giant, the hill giant, fire giant, the stone giant, and the frost giant. They all have unique sort of default looks to them, and they all get unique sub-race features. The frost giant doesn't get slowed down by difficult icy terrain, and you get access to a Ray of Frost. The cloud giant gets Gust. The storm giant gets Stormbolt, which is nice. You get the hill giant gains access to unarmored defense. The fire giant gets Ignite Blade, which is really cool. That's actually, whoa, I didn't notice that. That's actually really cool. You just imbue your weapon with fire damage. Nice. You can do that. The stone giant gets Stone Defense and Dark Vision. We can go back and look at some of the other options. Let's look at the Goliaths. The Goliaths are a little bit similar. They also have their sort of heritage in gianthood, and they get similar abilities. We can see here the cantrip for Cloud Giants, or for the Cloud Jaunt Goliath, is a Misty Step, effectively called Cloud's Jaunt. The Fire's Burn Goliath gets, when you deal damage to a target, you can also deal 1 to 10 fire damage to them, which is really great. Frost Chill grants you access to Frost Chill. When you deal damage to a target, you can also deal 1 to 6 cold damage to them and reduce their movement speed by 3. Hill's Tumble. When you deal damage to a target, you can also knock them prone. The Stone Goliath one gets, when you take damage, you can use a reaction to roll 1d12 plus Constitution Mire to the number rolled and reduce the damage by that total. And the Storm one gives you access to when you take damage from a creature within 18 meters, you can deal 1 to 8 thunder damage to them. So this has a lot of sort of play with different abilities like Reverberation for this one and Dazed, or you could do things that have to do with Prone. This one would be really nice for dealing cold damage and slowing enemies down. There's just a lot of utility here that could be really useful with a lot of elemental builds. And there is one more that we want to look at. I know that I said last but certainly not least, but then I remembered that I didn't cover it, and this is one of my favorite ones. I don't know how I missed it. Is the Imp. The Imp lets you play as an Imp, which is so freaking cool. There are 9 sub-races here. You can pick the Avernus Imp, the Dis Imp. Okay, so disregard if I pronounced any of these wrong. I don't know how to pronounce all these names. The Minoros Imp. These look so cool, by the way. The Phlegethos Imp, the Stygia Imp, the Malbogle Imp, the Maladomini Imp, the Caney Imp, and the Nessus Imp. And they all have their own unique Firebolt. This one, the Nessus Imp, for some reason has a 1d4 Firebolt. I don't know why you'd even use that. But the Kenya Imp, 1d10 Cold Firebolt. That's really cool. Maladomini Imp, Necrotic Firebolt. That's really cool too. Malbogle Imp, a 1d10 Psychic Firebolt. I really like this one because I love psychic damage. Psychic damage is just so much fun. The Stygia Imp, you get Cold Firebolt, which is also really cool. It's better than Ray of Frost. Phlegethos Imp, you get another 1d4 Firebolt. Woohoo! Minoros Imp, you get this cool Caustic Firebolt, which is really nice. The Dis Imp, you get this Forceful Firebolt, also really cool. And the Avernus Imp, you get the traditional 1d4 Firebolt, which woohoo! But either way, the Imp subclass is just really, or not subclass, the Imp race is just really cool because you get to play as an Imp that flies around and hits people. You can kind of play around with your body shape here, and if you click the third one, you can make him sit down and not fly, which is pretty interesting. The fourth one is just a human. I don't think that's, I think that's just a glitch. But you can play as an Imp here, which is really cool. So that actually pretty much does it for today with a breakdown on some of the best race and sub-race mods for Baldur's Gate 3. Are there any that you think I missed, or ones that you were looking forward to? Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Thanks, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.